What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Blitz Fantasy Football. We rebranded a little bit. We took our fantasy football to a different channel. Our NFL is separate. Now, the NFL draft was a great day for a lot of prospects and us because we got a better tell on these rookies heading into the fantasy football season. And we are breaking down the five biggest risers coming from the first round of the NFL draft. Steven, we're taking it to Carolina first. We got Bryce Young and Ted McMillan teaming up for a duo that was very low key. We didn't hear a lot of news about this, but I really like this outlook with Bryce Young and Ted McMillan in Carolina. We saw how Adam Thielen did. What is your take on the situation itself?
Yeah, Ted McMillan to Carolina. I really like this for both himself and for Bryce Young. I mean, Bryce Young needed a receiver, as you said. Adam Thielen was kind of his number one there, and for fantasy, Adam Thielen kind of produced. And Ted McMillan is a better player than Adam Thielen is right now, and so I feel like the targets are there for him to really come in and succeed. Bryce Young gets a big red zone target, so I feel like that helps him. His touchdown numbers should very well go up this next season. We saw Young; he was benched early on in the season, and then he came in and then really kind of balled out with a lackluster squad around him. So I really like this landing spot for McMillan. I think it boosts not only his value. I think there could have been worse spots, or there are worse spots he could have landed. And Bryce Young, he finally gets what's supposed to be his stud receiver. Leggett didn't really work out as expected last year. I mean, he still could break out in year two, but McMillan, I expect him right away to be the X and a big red zone threat for Bryce Young next year.
Yeah, 100%. I think one of the biggest things that I take from it is the skill set that Ted McMillan provides. I mean, there's some people, no, I'm not going to say I am some people, but they compared him to like a Calvin Johnson type receiver with that size, speed, his ability to catch the ball in contested catches, all that good stuff that he brings to the table. And there were some people saying he was going to slip. The real rumor all along was Carolina, no matter what, right? I just think that the fit with Bryce Young shows that Carolina is making a clear investment in finding out if he's their franchise quarterback. I like Bryce Young's stock as a sneaky QB1 heading into the year. And then obviously you have Ted McMillan, who, could very well be a high end wide receiver too right off the bat because the volume is there. We'll see how much Adam Thielen eats into that and these younger guys who've been in the system longer. But I think it's a good fit. Dean, let's take it to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They had one of the most shocking days in the NFL. Travis Hunter is a Jacksonville Jaguar. What is your take on the move, and who is this going to benefit the most?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Them making the huge splash to kick off the night threw everyone to surprise. But now Travis Hunter, the two-way player, a Heisman winner, gets to be a Jaguar, and the one that benefits the most from it is Trevor Lawrence. He's a guy that I'm definitely looking out for in the 2025 season. Even before this move, a lot of people try to write him off, but he still has the ability to be a top end quarterback in the league, both in regular NFL and fantasy. So that's where you're looking at another weapon for him to add with Brian Thomas Jr., a new head coach, and Liam Cohen, who's offensive minded. Look out for Trevor Lawrence in 2025. This is going to be an exciting year for him.
100%. And what's interesting, Stephen, about this addition specifically is I think this helps Brian Thomas Jr. Can you talk about a little bit how Travis Hunter could potentially open up BTJ even more on this offense?
Yeah, certainly. So, I mean, Trevor Lawrence, he's getting Travis Hunter to add to that receiving core. Now, we don't know exactly how many snaps a game or what their plan is with Hunter. I said on our draft show, I expect him to play roughly about, if he's going to be more of a corner in the NFL, I expect him to play roughly like 30 to 45% of the offensive snaps come in and have a package for him. But when he's on the field, it's not just like they just got Travis Hunter's not a player where it's like, oh, he's a good wide receiver and a good corner. He is an elite wide receiver prospect. Like he was our number one receiver coming into this draft if he was just a receiver alone. So we comped him to like a Devontae Smith like player. That's big adding to an offense, even if it is for only 40, maybe just about half the snaps a game. So that's huge also for Brian Thomas Jr. because now when he's on the field, he was balling when he didn't have help alongside him. Now you add another dominant prospect along him and Travis Hunter. It divvies up the defense's attention and it really opens up everything a lot. A lot is going to be opened up for this Jaguars offense. I'm really excited to see it.
Yeah, no, and then I really think it's going to be interesting. I think Trevor Lawrence, a lot like Bryce Young, could be the late round steal that we find on our waiver wire, or even potentially throw a flyer at later in our draft when we don't want to reach on a quarterback because he has the talent around him. We'll see what they do to address potentially the running back room, but I think Tank Bigsby is a really good player as well. I really hope for fantasy football's sake they don't address it. I like Bigsby as a player. Let's get into our next player here. Well, another surprise, Colston Loveland, the tight end one off the board, heading to the Chicago Bears. I mean, I really like Loveland as a prospect. I do. Very good receiver. That's what stands out to me about his time at Michigan. And what was interesting about this move is the Bears actually extended Cole Kmet to a long-term contract. I think it was last offseason, and this was a multi-year deal. So they have money invested in both these guys and still felt Colston Loveland was that good that they had to go get him at 10. I thought they were going to reach on a running back at 10. Instead, they reach on a tight end. Now, what this tells me is that they're clearly going to get this guy involved in this offense. Ben Johnson obviously made Sam Laporta a monster there. And I think even if the target volume's low in his rookie year, his touchdowns are going to be up. There was always Sam Laporta touchdowns that Ben Johnson would be scheming up for that guy. And I think Colson Loveland in this offense is a really good fit. Dean, what do you think about the fit?
Yeah, it was one of the shocking surprises of this first round. A lot of people pointed Tyler Warren as tight end one, and the Bears says, no, not for us. This is Ben Johnson's number one pick here. He goes with the tight end that probably is, easy to say. It's going to be his Laporta 2.0, a guy that can do it all, block, run routes, and really feed off of those chips that we see Laporta do as well. So I think it speaks volumes that Ben Johnson and this front office for the Bears chose Loveland over Tyler Warren. So really, you got to be excited, especially with the Bears that bolstered that offensive line. You still have the number one pick from 2024 and Caleb Williams. This is going to be really exciting. And I think Loveland is going to be a guy that's going to be considered pretty high in the tight end market.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting for sure where he goes in that tight end market. We all know the premium guys. I think he falls in that middle tight end one to low end tight end one range. He's going to be a fascinating pick in this upcoming draft. Let's talk about players that have a meaningful impact on the football field, but we don't see them on the stat sheet in fantasy football. It's the tackle position. There were a lot of quarterbacks that benefited from tackles. You saw Justin Fields, he got a big time tackle. Drake May got a big time tackle. Patrick Mahomes got himself a tackle. We got many quarterbacks that got tackles. Steven, why don't you break down some of the biggest impacts on these tackles and their fantasy football impacts on these quarterbacks?
Yeah, so my favorite, it's actually becoming one of my favorite picks of the first round now is actually number 32, Josh Simmons to the Chiefs. Mahomes for fantasy last year, it wasn't the elite Mahomes that we're all used to seeing, and a part of that for me, I think honestly was because they weren't getting enough pass protection. And now that you get a guy who can come in, super talented, kind of slid in the draft because of some injury concerns, talent wise, he's a top 15, maybe top 10 pick all day. You step him in, and he'll start day one for the Chiefs. And Mahomes is going to get some protection. He's going to get his weapons all healthy next year. You got Rashi Rice coming back. You got Hollywood Brown finally should be healthy, and Xavier Worthy. I mean, he had a great breakout towards the end of last year. He had a great Super Bowl performance, and that kind of goes unnoticed. But getting a good tackle that can fill in, protect him, Mahomes, keep the pocket clean. That offense is just gonna. I expect that offense to be booming next year.
Yeah, and I mean, another team that I want to talk about, Dean, with you is the New York Jets. I mean, they got themselves a mauler in Armand Benboot, and they're going to be able to run the football with Justin Fields. Do you think this helps both Fields and Brees Hall's stock heading into next year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we also have seen kind of Brees Hall's name around there in the trade market. We'll see if that actually comes
Let's see.
to fruition. But yeah, this just helps Justin Fields so much. last time we've seen Justin Fields in a starting role, he was a top fantasy quarterback. And now that the Jets are going to invest on the offensive line with him, it just speaks volumes. And really, the ceiling for him is so high this year for fantasy. So, yeah, I would be on the lookout for Justin Fields late. I know we keep talking about all these quarterbacks, but
Yeah, facts.
really the possibilities are endless here.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great day for quarterbacks. Let's just say that.
Mhm.
Like, we
Yep.
saw a ton of quarterbacks get their stocks improved due to that production. I mean, another guy we haven't even talked about yet, Drake May, and the impact of actually having a competent offensive line in front of him. Another really good player. I mean, this is the year it feels like to wait on a quarterback, get a guy like Justin Fields, Drake May late, load up on RB and wide receiver, or even a tight end premium in those early rounds, and you're going to be very successful. And to be honest, the way this draft's shaking out, and this is going to segment into our last winners from day one, there's a lot of running backs available still heading into day two. The under hit at 2.5 running backs in the first round. Both running backs. I mean, Genty went to a solid spot with the Raiders. Hampton, we're going to talk about in our other episode we're dropping today. Not exactly ideal with the current situation there. But Travion Henderson, Quinshawn Judkins, RJ Giddens, like there's tons of good players available. What do you guys think? We'll start with you, Steven. These second round running backs seem like they have a lot of good homes. What are you thinking for tomorrow?
Yeah, the one thing I'm looking is Trevion Henderson early. I mean, the pick I'm really looking at is the Bears. They picked 39. They got that from the Panthers a couple years back in that Caleb Williams, Bryce Young trade. I feel like that would be a fantastic spot for Henderson. I mean, I was saying earlier I would have liked to see Ashton Genty go to the Bears. I feel like that would have been a fantastic spot. So with the Bears not taking a running back in the first round and having an early second round pick, it's right around where Henderson should be going. He should maybe they'll have to trade up a little bit to get him, but if Henderson is able to land with the Bears at 39, I think that would be a home run pick in fantasy, and he should skyrocket up draft boards.
A player that I'm looking at landing at a certain spot that's available, Quinshawn Judkins heading to the Denver Broncos. Really good fit for them and what they're trying to look for in a running back right now. I mean, it was interesting that they passed on Hampton for a cornerback, right? When they have a really big need there at running back. I think they trust what they have later in the draft. Caleb Johnson, Quinshawn Judkins, and Denver, both those guys I think would be really good fits and guys that could eat out a massive workload. And it'll be interesting. I do think Omari and Hampton will be the rookie running back two still, but whoever ends up in Denver, I think has a real chance of being that rookie running back three in this class. What do you think, Dean? Who's another guy we got to look out for heading into day 2 and 3?
Yeah, it's hard to pick one because this running back class is so deep and there's going to be some great fits. I think, like you said, Denver is a perfect opportunity, but also think Washington too. Them just having an older Eckler and then a Brian Robinson that I think is just not working out for them. There's going to be opportunities to eat there. One of the guys I look at is RJ Harvey from UCF. I mean, if he can find himself in Washington, that would be some kind of explosive backfield there in Washington. And they're riding high off of the NFC Championship. So those are one of the guys and kind of the one of the fits I look forward to. Maybe not even round two, might be a round three thing, but definitely look out for Harvey.
Yeah, 100%. Those are our five biggest risers. They're not necessarily all players, but they're definitely situations that impacted a lot of players today. We will be coming back with another video tomorrow about talking about our risers. We also dropped another video today talking about our biggest fallers from the draft. So make sure you guys go check that out. Also, make sure you share this video. This is our first time posting on this channel. Hit that subscribe button for more content all season long, and we will catch you guys next time.
Later, guys.